Hello folks, welcome to another chess time with folks, and today we'll be taking a step forward in our chess game as we continue learning from where we stopped in the last video, and I believe that you've been having fun. Yes, so let us get right into it. Okay, good to have you here today. Today we'll be learning about our pieces. That is right, we'll be knowing our armies, and you will get to know how exactly to play on this battlefield. Remember, in the last video I introduced you to the 64 squares, what each of the squares are called, from A1 to C3 to D6, and it goes on and on. I believe that you would have familiarized yourself with each of the pieces. Which, okay, let's just say, what is this square called? That is H8. You could actually figure your way around it. Like I said, you'll get to know the import of all these things very soon, because you'll get to know that in playing with each of these pieces, there is a square they are called. That means if while you are playing you move your piece to any of the squares, you can say, okay, my piece is on this square. But you'll get to know all those details very soon, because it takes learning them bit by bit. So keep calm and follow through in today's class. So like I said, we're learning about our pieces today. In the game of chess, we have 6 major pieces. Of course, you wonder, what exactly are you talking about? We have practically all these areas filled with pieces. But calm down, I will introduce you to all the pieces, and you'll get to know why I said we have 6 major pieces. So let us see and meet our armies. So these are our armies. We have, as you can see, we have 8 pieces here. We have 8 pieces altogether. We have 8 pieces for the black, and we have 8 pieces backwards. So that means in total there are 16 here. There are 16 of them here. And you will wonder, why exactly did you say we have 6 pieces? If you can see, you will realize that every of those pieces look identical, and these are the pieces we call the pawns. So we call them pawns, which is our major piece in this game. That means the game of chess will not be complete without the pawns. And actually, by standard, we say the pawns are the weakest piece as far as the game of chess is concerned. And of course, as we proceed as well, you get to know why we call them that, and you realize that we have a lot of facts to unravel as we continue on this channel. So keep calm and let us learn together. And also, you will see that we have 2 pieces that look similar on each end. We have this, then we have this. Or let us make it a bit fun. Let us call them by the name of their squares, which I believe that you already know. So we have the piece on A1, and we have another piece on H1, which look similar. We also have a piece on B1 and another piece on G1, which looks similar. And we have another piece on C1 and then a piece on F1, and again they are similar. That means on the white army and also on the dark army, you will see a particular piece that are replaced, or let me say that appear twice, and that is just the standard of the game. So just play along, you'll pick up. So the next piece I'll be listing is the knight. The knight, and that is what we can call the horse. If you know what a horse looks like, you know and see the similarity. Then the next one, so this is our knight, and this is the second knight. Then we have the bishop here. We have the bishop, which is the third piece, and the fourth piece we have the rook. This is the rook, and this is another rook. This is our fourth piece, and our fifth piece is the queen. You can see the queen standing just beside this man, and this also is our king. We have the king and we have the queen, just the same as the dark square. We have the king and we have the queen standing right beside it. So our last two pieces on the chessboard are the queen and the king. So we have 6 pieces in total. That is all for today, because all I want to do in this particular video is to actually introduce you to all of the pieces: the pawns, the rook, the knight, the bishop, the queen, and the king. And like I said, the repeated pieces: the bishop, the knight, and the rook. However, before I go, one of the things you also need to understand as far as the game of chess is concerned is that each of those pieces are ranked, and because they are ranked, they have points attached to them. What that means is, while playing the game of chess, if you capture any piece, which you'll get to know what it means to capture, how do you capture a piece, how exactly does each of these pieces move. The point is, each of those particular pieces, they have specific and unique movements. That means you cannot just decide to play the game of chess as you like. There is a designated way each of these pieces move on the board, and you will get to know that. So while playing, if you end up capturing any of the pieces, there is a particular point attached to them, which means you have earned a particular number of points for yourself. For the pawn, we have just 1 point. For the knight and the bishop, the knight and the bishop have equivalent number of points. That means they have the same number of points attached to them. We have 3 points. So 3 points for the knight, 3 points for the bishop. That means if you are playing and you end up capturing either this or this, you have 3 points each. If you capture this, you have 3 points for yourself as well. Then the rook has 5 points. What that tells you is that the higher the number of the points, the stronger the piece, which means that for having just 1 point, the pawn is the weakest on the army. The knight and the bishop have equivalent number of points, which means they are next to the pawn. And then we have the rook with 5 points, which means they are stronger than the knight, than the bishop, and definitely than the pawn. And the next that we have is the queen with 9 points. What it means is that the queen is the strongest of the army. It means that anytime while playing the game of chess and you capture the queen, or the white happens to capture the black queen, that means you have a whooping 9 points to yourself. And that means you have also captured the strongest piece of that army. And the last but not the least, the king. We usually say the king has infinity points. What it means is that there is no particular number of points attached to the king. Why exactly is that? That is because the king is the ultimate prize. What that means is, anytime, whenever the king is captured in the game of chess, the game has come to an end. But you get to know that in the next video. I remain, folks. See you in the next one.